members and to the old members that have found their way back to the community. I need you just as much as you need me. I decided to do a very early live here this evening because of what's going on in the market. And it's a little sad. One thing that's nice is my XRP position did not go low enough to where it would have triggered any kind of limit sell. That's still well within play. But pretty much everything I own besides XRP has been limit sold. Because I put in numbers, as you guys know, through the targets. And in the unfortunate event that we have a crazy sell-off, it does what it does. And we've come down far enough on pretty much DGB's out. Let's see, H-bar was out at 10 cents. ZIL, when it came back below 3, done. Which it doesn't mean that I saved a lot. I came down a lot in this, but the problem is now in the territory we're in, it was able to liquidate it a lot harder. XRP for me hasn't hit that point yet, but it's getting close. Let's see, VeChain already did it because it came through the last resistance. Well, it broke down instead of breaking up. This is the problem. No, VeChain has, well, I think it did because it came below 4. I haven't checked, but I know my numbers. VeChain only would have triggered if it... no, I don't think it did. VeChain's still open because it didn't come down through and start breaking down. XDC still open. XLM was closed, but I believe... no, XLM's closed. That was the line in the sand. Fuck. XLM's... see, a lot of the work I did now I've got to reopen. I know for a fact Algo closed when it came through 20. But that's... to me, that's more devastating than anything because I'm not looking to just up and out, up and out. It's just these are what have been set up because we have a very unstable formation, which I was hoping that it would go to the top side. But right now, it looks like we're breaking down to the bottom side. And for XRP right now, my line, as everybody knows, is if we were to lose this handle formation, I would have no choice but to reset. I don't want to reset. I'm hoping XRP holds on here. Because I know the implications if we lose this cup and handle, it's going to be a big breakdown. Right now, all we've done is we filled out this pattern for XRP. And it's very possible that by doing the limit orders, that it could just reverse right back up now. But I know the lines in the sand on a lot of my assets, and I was up a lot of them 200%, some of them 150 where they sold, and I can't give it all back. With XRP... I know where it's at in the pattern, and I can't afford to sell it unless it breaks this handle formation, because then I know I can at least, at the very least, come back down to 38. But in a worst-case scenario, if this were to play out, and it hasn't yet, but if this plays out in a worst-case scenario, this is the worst-case scenario, and that's, we don't like to talk about it, but that's if 38 and all that doesn't work out. And the funny thing is some people tell me I'm a hopium person, but the majority tell me that I always look at the negative, and that's not true. I've been looking more positive here with the negative connotation as well. We know it can go to 74, but at the same time, we also know if it breaks to the bottom side, this is the problem. And there, if you stick around during the lives when I do them day after day, you know my numbers. You know what my technical moves are to where I'm out or I'm in. XRP hasn't hit it yet. Now, some of the other ones that we've been trading have hit it. I can't help it how far up we were at and where the breakthrough points were. I'm saddened by it because I didn't think it would happen this quickly. But it's also that you can see it within the charts where you've got the back and forth. And that's why I said as easily as XRP can break up and go to 74, this pattern's still valid unless it breaks the handle formation. We can just as easily go down to that 49.9, 49.8. I try to rehash it every single day when I do this. And today, yes, there's opportunity, but there's also... it's not reality, but you got to pay attention to the junctures we're in. On some of these assets, we've broken below key levels. Bitcoin is in an area where it hasn't broken completely through. Like a lot of this could be a quick consolidation, but where it's at, the fact that Bitcoin decided to come through here, now instead of looking at 79,000 or 78,988, now you'd be looking at a breakdown in the range of 60,000 or 57,700 for that broadening wedge. We've had this on here. I just cleared it out so everybody could see it when we're looking to the up. But we know the targets. They're all there. It's just as bullish as we were yesterday. We broke down those areas, and once you break those areas down, you have to be realistic. You can't avoid it. That's why I never just look at the bullish, and I never just look at the bearish. But right now, it's actually a little bit lower. See, where it broke down, this is more like, yeah, see, this is right on the broadening wedge. So to me, it's too dangerous to hold a lot of the assets when they break through their key supports. Because now if this comes down, this is fine. But what if it does this, and then it's just done? We can't, this is why I keep saying accumulation phase, but a lot of the stuff we already had made several 100%. So you have to have your orders at the floor. If it hits a point and you just, because I'm not giving it all back. I'm not a trader to give it all back. And that's why I showed the sellout of a couple different things already. But this is tragedy for me. This is literally the worst case scenario, because now all that work I did to accumulate, now I'm going to have to do the exact same thing again and reset here on most of my assets. And it's not just crypto, ladies and gentlemen. If you think it's just crypto I'm mad about, it's not. It's also precious metals. When gold came through where it wanted to, now all of a sudden I was at a point where all of my precious metals have sold out now. And it doesn't seem like much has happened, but a lot happened. We did a complete reset. And I don't like it. It pisses me off because now everything I was doing, and it seems crazy, but I'm not a stranger to precious metals. And I told everybody, everybody's going to try to buy in now, right when the consolidation has to happen for commodities. Once I seen this reversal, I had my limit at 298. It sold out on B2 Gold, and it sucks because that's my baby, and I wanted 5.5% dividend. Newmont, once it came below 39, 760, and it sucks because all of these have now done the same thing the rest of the market did. And, you know, we have to have cautious for reality because the DXY is rising so fast. And we know it's going to depreciate the value in things. That's why I was shocked that precious metals was doing what it was doing. I was able to get out of the call option, and that made 160%. And I have until January, but now I have the opportunity to take the money and reset. You have to find your market reset. And the DXY is what scares me. The front of war with Iran and Iraq, these are catalysts that are happening that weren't here before. That doesn't mean it's bad for precious metals. It just means it's bad for market sentiment right now. And now when everybody tries to dive into a sector, what do they usually do? They topple it over for a second. Crypto right now, though, if I didn't know any better, this is setting up for a major rally down the road with Bitcoin having. This seems like standard operating procedure, and we should get a feisty bounce back. A feisty bounce back. A feisty bounce back. I don't know, I feel a little odd today because I didn't expect all this stuff to play out today the way it did. I expected it to ladder through our move, and then if we were going to break down, I mean, we expected if it came down to these targets. That's not what's bothering me. What's bothering me is the fact that if you look at from a leverage perspective, if you look at it from more than just a spot perspective, because with spot, once you make your gains, you have your sell points, but you also have your areas where you can accumulate. Some people use different strategies. I don't trust the markets. I like it when it's moving, but sometimes you get slapped in the face and you start to see the areas and it sucks. So when we go through this, we have to look at the good and bad and the indifferent. I'm not trying to be a bearish person or a bullish person. I'm indifferent. I couldn't give a rat's ass. I just want to know what's really going on. That's why I show the bullish target and the bearish target all the time. Before we were trying to push up, we just could not break over this handle resistance. We also could not break over right now with XRP this major resistance at the 64.20. We also now have failed to hold this new expandable zone. So now it puts us in an awkward position, for me especially, because I know the reality is we're going to have a nice rebound. And I'm fortunate that this one did not at least sell because I know XRP's in a better spot than most, and I'm not up on this like I am on a lot of the other ones. But now you look at it, we're very oversold in the smaller time frames. So it's not a panic moment. It's not a panic moment at all. It's just with the way it broke down like XDC, it could back test now at 339. That's what it's telling us. Now we're looking for these back tests. The back tests are enormous because of how far we went. XLM, once it came through this zone, this is going to have a mighty back test here as well. A lot of these, if you didn't get caught up in that liquidation from a leverage standpoint, there's a lot of opportunity right now as well. Like, don't think this is just going to crater and it can't have a big rebound here now. So I said this is an awkward opportunity now for me personally. And now I can start looking at things because I've been riding the main sector, I think, for a little bit too long when it comes to just into the main sector outside of the XRP ledger. And I've been very much educating myself on the ledger as well. So now when this opportunity comes calling, it's going to be more on the DEX too. So we're going to be able to have a finer understanding of not just XRP as a whole, but what's going on within its own ecosystem. Like I said, I have not sold XRP. That is still 100% intact. XLM, I need to look. XDC, I need to look. But I'm pretty sure those three are still for the, maybe not XLM. That's the one I'm concerned about. But the majority of the rest are not intact anymore. So let's go through the comments. Please make sure to hit that like button so that YouTube will recommend this live. And right now, if you didn't have anything, I mean, if it's dropped already, you might as well just wait for this rebound now. Now is a moment where we should get a nice rebound. Make sure to hit that like button so YouTube recommends this live. Hopefully everybody comes here every single day and you pay attention to what I'm saying. I do it very suave, and I do it in a way that you would have to keep coming in here to understand, but I think everybody does. We get a lot of slack on both sides, but today's like today. It's good to know the down targets and the up targets. That's all I'm saying. Because if we come through these crucial levels now for XRP, you got to pay attention because then it could be a quick sweep to 38. Just like XLM, you got to pay attention. It could be a quick sweep to 8 cents. You know, this is what it's starting to happen across the board. You know what gave us the hint that this could go the wrong way, and we talked about it. The Bitcoin dominance chart has a technical move up to 57%. That puts downward pressure on altcoins. This also isn't bad going forward once this exhausts itself, and it should in time. But right now, there's a lot of money being commanded, and that doesn't mean that Bitcoin's taking more money. That just means more money's flowing out of the alts on a drop, too. That's the problem here. Bitcoin's not going up. So, with that being said, good evening, or good mid-afternoon, 3:23 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Friday, April 12th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. No, he was not, Julie. He was shaking his head, though. So let's see the comments here. Let's see. Make sure to hit that like button. Only 43 likes, which I can understand. Crypto's getting buried right now. Only 43 likes, so that is so low. I'm so surprised there's so many people. Let's see. Yep. What did he do? Oh. Okay. Hold on, I gotta pull up my phone because there's a lot of comments. I'm gonna try to keep up with this. But don't get emotionally overdone here, guys. This is where we've come down so far now that there's opportunity here now. Don't get caught up in just a slow move. Being honest. Black Friday. Yes, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot on the dip. A lot. No, you don't need to pray. No need to pray. This is a good time if you were missing the market, or if you're trying to lower your buy-in, or if you have a plan. This is a good time. You have to buy an opportunity. Now, you can't judge somebody in the audience if they were on the opposite end and they had bought in before the run up and they had limit orders, if they had things going on. That's what we talk about here too. I didn't want that route to happen. I've talked about it. I didn't want to reset. But if the market forces me, I have no choice. But yeah, like I said, XRP is still in my holdings. That has not went out. That hasn't even hit close to it yet. The DEX, yes, Christopher, the DEX. He says garbage. Is that what he says? Garbage. Panic buying, yes, indeed. The DEX make money. Buying opportunities, people to focus is Q1, Q2 of the 2025 fireworks. 50, 30, yes, 50, 30, well, it's 49.90 area. But yeah, right around there, Ryan. A lot of people have said they've been waiting for this drop. Garage sale weekend. Yeah, I don't think this is I really don't think this is going to end up being, I think we could get more of an opportunity here too. These don't tend to just be quick drops here. Look at in the market cap of Bitcoin dominance, how it's coming up like that. Look how we were kind of floating up. It's almost like instead of breaking out of these ascending formations that we had longer term, we're breaking down. So we're breaking below some key areas here. Like I put it in stone here. Like you don't really want to come below this area because it opens up the door to this 38 cents. And that's what I will not get caught in. So be it if it goes from 50 to 38 and I can reset, that's fine. But once it breaks through that threshold, everybody needs to understand, like I said, with all my other assets, if that 494 area fails to hold, I'll ride it right down to that 38 or even further without being in the position. It will pain my heart, but if we have to decide that, so if you're smart and have balls and know what you hold, you'd be buying more. Yep. But this is the thing, like, everybody needs to understand there's an opportunity as well. There's an opportunity as well. The other reason I needed to do this when it got to certain levels is because all these ones that I've talked about were on uphold, and you know my feelings now on uphold. I'm sick of paying the in and out fees, so this gave me an opportunity to capitalize as well on major profits. And now when I rebuy back the ones that were forced to sell, I can buy them back on BITUNIX and not have to pay, or other platforms or other wallets, to where I don't have to pay the extraordinary in and out. Absolutely, it's a great day to buy. It's a great day to buy. It's a great day to buy. But remember, Bitcoin going to 62 resistance, I think. Could go to zero. Absolutely. But that's why you have to take into account where your profit line is as well. If you're not in it and you're accumulating or you haven't done anything yet, yeah, I've been in for over a year on some of this stuff, and when it went up 200-300%, some of them were out when it came back to certain levels. We know with AMP. We know with some of the other ones. But now you know, as I've been talking the last couple weeks, I've had levels set. All you have to do is watch. Yes, I talk about the bullish moments. I talk about the bearish moments. This cup and handle, though, I've been very clear. If this breaks, we're going to have a huge reset here, and that reset isn't good. And that reset, if you don't break up, seems to point to that 4.7 cents. Now, what could happen for XRP? Because it looks like a gigantic, if this plays out like this, and this is why I refuse to get caught in it, and everybody can laugh at me if they want, but if it happens, if this happens, you would have a failed inverse head and shoulders. And if this were to break down and we started doing this, you could start to see how this started to build up in a inverse fashion just to kind of fail. And if it does do something like that, you'll forever see that formation formed. And the fact that that would be a busted handle, it's something that concerns me. We had a point of revelation here one day. And I said, when we have this upward consolidation, everybody needs to make sure if they don't want to hold this, at some point before the collapse ends, you're going to have to make a hard decision. And we've had this talk. I don't deal with the hard decisions. I just put the limit orders where I know if it busts that area, we're screwed. We're screwed. And a lot of the other ones are already telling what XRP is yet to tell yet. We're screwed on a lot of them. Just on the initial drop. XRP is not ready to give up yet. It hasn't given that area up yet. Some of them have. Some of them have. DGB gave it up a little while ago. It had such a big run up that DGB was a lot easier to tell. DGB broke that uptrend. And when I give these expandable zones, you should know what that means. If they break that, it's not good. Because it's in an ascending formation as well. These are the areas of contention. And then if you know, you go from 1.6 down to here. I mean, and then if it breaks this, that means this entire pattern zone. Look at these. These could be gigantic topping reversals. And I wouldn't put it past Bitcoin. But this, something just didn't feel right this whole time going up to the Bitcoin halving. Normally it doesn't make that run up in the way it did. Pips, I don't know who that is, but if you're, hopefully you're making a good suggestion, and obviously you feel good about it. But pay attention to these charts now. It's not over yet. Like, this is not the end of the world. Even if it were to break down and consolidate, we can buy it cheaper now. You can, if you had profits and you've been waiting, there's a lot of people in here that have been riding for a long time that have taken profits now. That's what I've been talking about. Just make sure it hits that level to where you know that you're in the right. Because there's a chance that, especially with XRP here, more than a chance, as long as this handle holds, we're very bullish here. Now, if it breaks down, like we've said, we reset. What does that mean? We can go all the way down to 4 cents potentially. I know it sounds crazy, but if anything doesn't go, it's an equal and opposite reaction. If it's not bullish, it's bearish. If it's not bullish, it's bearish. And it feels like to me, with what we're seeing with just everything in the market surrounding cryptocurrency, there was too much FUD. There was too many people saying it was going to 150,000, too many people spending their life savings. Nobody wanted to buy it when we were talking about it, when Bitcoin was at 27,000. Everybody wants to buy it when it's at 70 and 60 and 75 or 65. That's where the problem starts. Then you have these big sell-offs and people are like, well, what the fuck happened? I know, that's the point, Saint. Nobody wants it, and I'm not preaching that that is exactly what's going to happen, but that is within the realm of possibility. And that's just something that everybody needs to understand. I make my living doing this, so when I make hundreds of % in things, you know my limits. You know by my technical analysis if you watch every day. I don't want to get rid of anything. You think I wanted to get rid of my precious metals? I had to talk to Julie and say, you know what, Julie? We hit a top here, and I've been in some of this stuff for a while, and I'm up a couple thousand here, and we hit that top now. We need a reset. And I'm not married to anything. If I was married to something, it would be the commodities because they pay a dividend, but at the same time, something's wrong here. Doesn't everybody see the problem? Why is the dollar at 106? How is that right? That means something's not right here. Something big's about to happen. And what do you think's going to happen to cryptocurrency if we go into a war here? I don't know. I'm not sure, actually, Gerald. That's a good point. That's a good... Oh, no, trust me. I am as far out as you can look at this pattern. I've done over and over and over again. But listen, here's the point that I want everybody to realize. Understanding the entirety of the pattern, that doesn't mean you give up on the pattern, even if you're setting up a reset. But for me, I know personally, I don't want to ride this all the way back down to even 38 cents. So I know my line in the sand. If it's going to go down to 38 cents, I'd rather watch it when it gives me that signal. And some are like, well, why wouldn't you sell it at 60? Because I didn't get the signal. And I have the ability to do what I want to do because I bought it cheap. But let's just say it does trip it up. And then you can just say, oh, you know what? On a quick sweep, and this would be best case scenario if this happens, you get a quick sweep and it's down 21%. And you get 20. That's just... Traders want to sell on you. RD, you sound like a dope, honestly. If you've done anything here, you would know that's such bullshit. I hate when people like you come in and you have no education whatsoever. You come in and run your mouth. You have no idea that we make profits every single... This is why I stay in the green, because I know the cycle flip. Some of them are hitting that point. Some of them have not. But you better be damn sure to pay attention to it. Don't think Bitcoin just came from 26,500 to almost 75K and there's not going to be some kind of retracement. Don't think some of these cryptos, because a lot of people seem to think the rally just started. It's been going on for over a year. Some people are just very late to the party. Now you see it on TV all over the place to buy some of this all of a sudden, and it's like, well, what the fuck's going on here? We're absolutely going to go back on a gold back standard, but our entire system is going to transfer, and that means you take advantage of opportunity, but you don't get taken out. I can't help it. I tell people I don't look to sell, but if it puts me in the position, I let the position go. I can't be married to anything. But at the same time, you can point out all the other YouTubers. I guarantee you this is the only community that stays green, and there's a reason why. And I'm the only community that doesn't push any of the nonsense. So if I was here to take your money, I'd be pushing all the bullshit like everybody else. Stop it. Makes you look bad, and then you lose integrity, and then I can't talk to you anymore. You know, so it's kind of like, you know, you got to learn what you're talking about before you just come in and blindly speak. Because it makes you really... I like to talk to everybody, but some people just come in and they don't even know what they're talking about. I keep saying, look at the opportunity that could be building, but look at this volatility. Knowing what you know in the crypto market, what do you think is going to happen now? I'm open for interpretation. I'm open for interpretation here. I'd love to hear what everybody thinks. I come on in these moments. RD, you're not blind. You're not blind. Well, your comments seem to disperse, but whatever. It's okay. If you know, you know exactly. I won't even, but like I say, commodities are one thing. I buy precious metals for the long hold. Commodities, you do it in the moment, and it continues to be a long hold, but if it tells you something, you got to listen. And I'm listening. And I don't get mad. But there's also a big opportunity in commodities still. It's had a huge run. Some things are up 50 to 75% in a month. You got to take into account what that means. That's all. What if the price is dropping and the whales are coming in for a very low price? That's what's going to end up happening. That's what's going to end up happening. But we all know with XRP, that's the ability to build the bag. That's the ability to trade other assets. That's the ability to have funds on the side and continue to keep building. There's no one right way to trade. I just show you what I do every day. A lot, Gerald. That's what 99% of the people you watch are doing. They give up their soul so they can have the world. That's what happens. That's what I fight every day because I get offers you guys couldn't even imagine. Just like all of your friends. So, this is, you guys can read into account what keeps happening here. Ripple's 500 million XRP escrow unlocked threatens price as bulls struggle to hold 61 cents. XRP has struggled to a higher degree compared to the others in the top 10 cryptocurrency by market cap. And it seems like the bearish sentiment is far from over. Ripple just unlocked a massive amount of tokens from escrow, which could threaten the price further. And call me crazy, but all the stuff Ripple's been doing lately doesn't exactly make me feel comfortable with all the quick liquidity that's being dropped on the market. And the more you learn about the GSR trading bots, the more you know. You do the opportune moment, and then when it's ready to go, it goes. There's nothing to be afraid of, but we've talked about the mini bear market rally. What if this is just a mini bear market rally at 24, like I've been saying for how long? And then it resets, and then 25 is the true bull market. There's nothing wrong with that. You're always allowed to make profits. So I say long hold, yes, that's something, but not through cycles. Unless you know what you're doing and you actually have a bag that you know how to add to. And you are actually in a position where you can continue to do it and pull liquidity from the side. See, that's what everybody doesn't understand. Majority in this audience can't do that. Once they put into a position, they don't have added liquidity to keep adding to it. That's the targeted audience I target. That's why I trade the way I do, and that's why I do things the way I do. So, in the early hours of Friday, on-chain whale tracker, platform whale alert posted 2 transactions carrying a notable number of XRP tokens. The first transaction saw 200 million tokens unlocked from the escrow wallet, worth 122.63 million at the time of transfer. The second transaction came minutes later when a total of 300 million XRP tokens were also unclosed from escrow. This second trans of tokens, being larger than the first, was worth 183.89 million at the time, bringing the total number of unlocked tokens to 500 million. Together, both transactions were worth over $300 million USD. These unlocks have unsurprisingly stirred concern in the Ripple community for a number of reasons. One of the reasons is that Ripple never does unlocks in the middle of the month. Rather, they do scheduled unlocks at the start of each month. So these transactions have drawn the attention of the crypto community. Another cause for concern is the fact that Ripple could be selling these XRP tokens, hence putting more tokens into circulation and adding more selling pressure to the already struggling digital asset. However, Ripple has not shown any indication of what these unlocks could be for, as there have been no transfer transactions since then, just the unlocked transactions. I'm going to say somehow these found their way to the market with that drop. I'm just going to call me crazy, but we went from 61 to 50 cents. I'm going to say these found their way to the market now. XRP unlocks are not new to the Ripple community. As scheduled unlocks take place every month, these unlocks see 1 billion XRP tokens unlocked from the escrow according to schedule, but most times the majority of the unlocked tokens are sent back to escrow. Usually these unlocks do not negatively affect the altcoin's price, but that's when the unlocks are expected. This time around, the unlocks are unplanned, leading to speculation as to why Ripple would be unlocking XRP tokens outside of the unlock schedule. I would love to know what everybody... Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. What's going on here? I mean, we'll see. So far, the XRP price seems to not be reacting, although it has now. It went from 61 cents down to about 50 real quick. So that's something that I find interesting today. That's something I find interesting. I find it interesting that we've consolidated in a fashion that we have, and the timing that we have. And I'm hoping that Bitcoin doesn't play this side of the pattern. But would I be surprised if Bitcoin did that? No. Because like we've said, the one issue I can see being found in front of Bitcoin, and it's always bothered me since these ETFs, when you buy Bitcoin on an exchange, and everybody can piss and moan, or they can decide that they don't want to understand what's really going on. I decide to be more educated, and I want to know what the fuck's going on. Excuse my French. Think about this. When you buy Bitcoin on an exchange, you can use Tether to sell it to the person so that they have artificial dollars, right? And then it comes off the exchange. When somebody buys it out of the Bitcoin ETF fund and they sell, you have to come up with real dollars. You can't use Tether, which means there's a lot of liquidity coming out of the market. So, but listen, everybody, the other thing that's funny is that I get a lot of slack because I come on when this stuff happens. I'm in the moment. I'm not afraid of the moment. Where's all the other YouTubers at right now? They're nowhere to fucking be found, and everybody wants to compare me to at least I'm on. At least I come here in the high times of volatility. At least I don't shy away from the negative. In fact, I embrace it because opportunity comes in these drops. Opportunity comes when you understand the setups. Yeah, it didn't go the way I wanted initially. But that doesn't mean it won't finish the way I want it to. If there's a price we get back over now, would I feel good if it's the bottom?
I'm gonna go get my kid. Okay?
Yep, please be safe because it is still raining, Julie.
And then I'm gonna start down.
If Bitcoin, really, honestly, the one thing that's bothered me is Bitcoin never retested. I've been very transparent about this. I want to see a retest of that broadening wedge. If Bitcoin could come down and retest this broadening wedge around 58,000, 57,700, I feel a lot better that that could be the bottom, if it holds it. The fact we haven't retested that massive pattern breakout has always bothered me. Yes, we want it to go up. Absolutely. You could get the drop down. Yes, you could with XRP get a big drop. Nope, nobody has a... Yep, you're right about that, XRP tribe. And now the problem is, the one problem we still face with crypto, which is why I do what I do when I do the accumulation, and then if I got to get rid of stuff, I do it. Look, it took me over a year to get rid of all this stuff. And it wasn't even by choice. I've had these limit orders set for over a month now. Everybody's seen when I did them. And I've talked about them. It's just, I didn't want this way to go out. It looked like we were going to avoid this. But now, the fact that we're only 8 days away from the Bitcoin halving, this has acted in a way that we've never seen before. This almost seems too manipulated, the way it went up. We have not back tested anything. It doesn't seem right. But remember, where all opportunity seems lost, there's something even deeper calling that we may not even see. So please make sure to hit that like button. 196 people watching, only 93 likes. That is an indictment, obviously. Okay, I just needed to grab some water. All right. So now for Bitcoin, if we're looking at this bounce back, what do we want from Bitcoin? Well, if we want Bitcoin to have a bounce back here and not a further retracement, we're just trending in a retracement zone now. We really wanted to break out from that ascending. I mean, we really wanted to break out and act like a bull flag here. I can't even stress that enough, how much I wanted that to happen. I'm just going to try to get rid of some of this noise here. But yeah, I mean, we're kind of trapped here now. We're kind of trapped until further notice. Unless this is one big fake out, we are trapped right now. Because that is not a bullish look right there, obviously. We've got 12 minutes until this candle ends. We came down in this 4-hour candle down to 65,176. We've come up to 66,892. We technically can't, if we want this to come back up, we've got 67,824 as it's coming up if it's going to back test this and try to break back over. Well, we can see we're entering into the oversold in a lot of the smaller time frames. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean anything because this could be the start of a switch of trajectory. No, especially XRP. That's what I was saying. It seems like to me, everybody was buying leading right into the halving. They were buying into the rally. They weren't buying into the dip. It's different. We haven't had, this entire time up, there's been no dip. Eventually that top starts to shape, and we talked about the M-topping reversal. Now it almost seems like a 3-top peak here, and that's not good. Look at that. Is that not a 3-peak? Is that not like a triple peak here? If that's what this is forming here, that's interesting. Because this is worse than a double top if it got rejected. 1, 2, 3. If that ends up playing like that, I mean, look at it built a very interesting, ominous tone if it does come down. Let's just put it that way. What's the best way to show this? Probably like this. Because you had the tops. So you go 1 top, 2 top, 3 top. Now, what if this does pull down? That's why I keep looking. If. Nobody says it's going to happen, but if it does, you're looking at a retest down to around that 57K. It is what it is. It's not necessarily a price that I would cut down. It's not the price in itself that I would cut ties and see. It's if we lose this cut. I've been saying this for, I feel like forever. Every day I come on here. I am bullish on XRP unless this cup and handle is lost. If the cup and handle is lost, it's not just the drop to 38 cents I'm afraid of. It's the mental move here. From a psychological standpoint, if you lose this, 38 cents is your best hope, probably. Maybe 42. But you've got the real optics here of 4 cents. That's the technical move down if it broke down instead of breaking up. So if we don't have the bullish continuation, we have a fake out here. And if it's a fake out, you have to take that equal move to the downside. Right now for XRP, to get out of the gray area right now, you've got to bounce back over that 608 mark and get back on top of this mid-tier handle resistance. The mid-tier handle resistance is big right now. Very big. Very, very big. What the hell was that? Oh, fuck. But yeah, Whoa. Dude, I don't know what the fuck that... Dude, my whole house and my door shook. Did you guys see that or no? Something happened, but there was no bird by the window, but it shook my entire fucking front of my house. Holy crap. It is raining awfully hard, but I don't see no, Yeah, T's okay, Julie. T's okay. Something like... I'm not exactly sure what happened. It's like something hit the door or something. I walked over there. That was the sound of XRP bottoming. No, Ernie, fortunately, no tornado. Fortunately, no tornado. But if we're looking for XRP, if it bottomed here, like I said, I'm not out of XRP. Yeah, some of my other swing trade, well, not quite swing trades. Some of the other altcoins I heard, like a car hit. I know it did. It did sound like that. But some of the other ones moved up very quickly, and I'm okay with that. If everything else has to go, as long as I hold XRP, I'm okay. But once if we get bottomed out there, then I'm going to be sad. I don't function the same when I don't hold XRP, so then we'll go back to, well, I still function the same, but I'm more sad. But then I'd be looking for the first opportunity. It's just, right now, this is everything. And it looks like we're getting to a point where we could be bottoming, but just pay attention here. This first chance of bouncing up, for some other reason, and I know it looks weird because it shows the percentages, but if for whatever reason you get caught somewhere in here, in the mid, and it just can't break that, or if you come up to here and you can't break it, that's a direct correlation. But look at this volume, though. That's what's scary. Volume predicts price, right? That's a scary volume. It's a scary volume. The fact that they unlock so much from Ripple, that's scary. But it could be FUD. It could be conveniently put out in front of us, but 16.6 million on that candle. That's huge. Oh, no, Bob, I get that. I get that. It's the only indicator you have, though, to tell you what kind of volume is being moved. Whether you trust it or not, it's volume. Just like saying you don't trust a temperature gauge. You know, it's not telling you the real temperature. It's the only thing we've got. I got no other way to see the volume unless I look at the volume. This isn't a specialized indicator. This is just a volume indicator. Don't let the idiots get you too riled up. Hold on. Oh, no, I'm good. No. I'm good. I am good. I just wanted to come on. I wanted to come on because I know it's the most important time right now. And whether good, bad, or indifferent, I guarantee I'll be on. And it's not 6:30. Yeah, Julie, I did. I walked outside and there was nothing. I wonder if when you left, the door was still a little open and the wind pulled it open, our screen door, and then it just slammed it. Can't stop watching that Big Bang time just beforehand. I know. That's what I even said. It's very, very, it could be very... Oh my God, it's so funny. Oh, you're welcome, my friends. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here. I still got more time here. I'm not leaving just yet. We've been on about 44 minutes, but I'm not ready to leave yet. We still got stuff to talk about. I appreciate the 131 people that have hit that like button. Find yourself hitting that like button. If you're looking to get on BITUNIX when we have moments of opportunity where things are dropping, and this could be the start of a continuation down, we don't know. But if you want to get on an exchange where you have the lowest spot leverage trading fees in the USA, it's what I'm trying to do to transition off of Uphold because I'm sick of paying all the fees. I can't help it. I've been transitioning out of it all year. And now a lot of them because XRP is not on there, it's on the ledger. Some of the other things that have leveraged out or limited out, I'm not entirely sad about because now that money I can take out and put it to another exchange and then I can buy back in with the low fees. See, I'm not mad about that. What I'm upset about is how many people I know got crushed in leverage. That's what sucks because a lot of people are trying to take out leverage, and I've been saying, at least in spot, you don't lose your position. And now the problem is with leverage, everybody's lost their position if they're in it. Whether you're long or short you feel good right now, but did everybody see what happened right before the short? pretty much across the market, you had a 2 to 6% spike, some 10 to 12, just to see it reverse 3 times the gains. That's how you get rid of the shorts before you do the leverage. It's a shakedown. But unfortunately, this shakedown, we like to say there's FUD, but this is one of those events where a lot of people are going to be buying the news with the Bitcoin halving. A lot of the YouTubers are telling you when the halving happens, Bitcoin's going to these numbers. This is the first time Bitcoin's ever went to all-time highs like this before we even got there. So it's different. This isn't because of the halving the price is going up. This was the convenient, manipulated attempt by then putting the Bitcoin ETF out at the exact right time, with it being the right distance away from the halving to where people are going to associate one without the other. There was no ETF back in the last halving. Let's cut the shit. So you can't clearly talk about the same liquidity. It's not. You never had this much liquidity not going into the crypto market and being used in the stock market and having to use real dollars to sell out of Bitcoin. Right now you can use Tether on the exchanges. You know, I don't think the exchanges know that we're wise to that, but they need to cut the shit too, because that's the truth. More liquidity there, Stanley. That's interesting by Hong Kong. That's another thing. But what I was saying was, if we wanted to pump into oblivion with the halving, we need a big dump. It's either you pump into it or you consolidate first and then you have that massive rally into all-time highs again, into the halving. Because we're going to be far enough away from all-time highs with the drop that Bitcoin can save itself, and that it could absolutely save itself. But I really firmly believe if Bitcoin wants to get rid of a lot of this pressure, we can see this is building up in a flag here. And if that breaks up on the relative strength index, this is calling for a much larger drop here. It's calling for a retest down here if this breaks bullish. I mean, it's looking a little bullish here on the RSI to go more towards the oversold. And this is good. We need this. We need this. The alt bull run just started. Hopefully. 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 If I had a nickel for every time I heard that statement, I would be a very rich man. I'm looking at some of the precursors here. Total crypto market cap is a big one. If the total crypto market cap goes down much farther, and it's already pretty much trying to signal this, but we've fallen well below that 200-day. It's almost as if we're on a trajectory to come retest some of these lower levels. The 200-day down here, if it played it true, it's down. Remember the 1.89 trillion? That's if we didn't break up. That was where we were projecting if we were to break down. So it's a big difference between a 3.01 trillion and all the way back down to 1.8. That's a big difference. Now, by no means is this done just yet. It's not. We still need a farther pull down to confirm that this recent push up would be invalidated. And we're coming back down to consolidation. But remember, we had a very big dump here. Very big dump. So we're going to see just how big of a rebound we have here. The only problem is the only thing that I'm noticing, like with some of these assets as I go through here now, which I care to not know this, but I see it now. So if this is so that's a big candle there in the 4-hourly. Now we need to start having some pressure rebound. See, in the 4-hourly, we're oversold. Doesn't mean that it's ready to give away yet. No. The problem is the volume keeps increasing in the 3-hourly. We can see it because that candle closed. In the 2-hourly, the sell candles are clearly increasing. This 2-hourly is at an exhaustion point now so that we can try to back test some of these areas. We'll find out soon. We'll find out soon. It's never a good omen to go into the thinly traded weekend on a very down note. Although it does lead opportunity for quick spikes because it's a thinly traded weekend, but it also leads opportunity for quick continuations. So we can only project here if this is a bear flag. But that is a mighty fine one if it is. We can only project where the rejection would likely come if it were to happen at all. If I'm looking at this, I'm being realistic. If you say, Tom, what do we need to do to not go down any farther? Honestly, I think it's pretty simple. We cannot afford to get rejected at 58 cents. If we do, that might just open up a door a little bit farther. Maybe not far, but we have to get, let's just put it this way. Right here. If we come back up here and we fail to retake this, I'm going to make it very simple. You don't even have to have a pattern out. Give it a little bit of credit. Put it at 58.1 cents. If XRP comes up here on this back test, if we do, because we should have some kind of back test here, unless it just breaks down immediately. But this should be the back test time. If XRP doesn't get past that point, it's a problem. And it's not over yet. It's not over yet for XRP. Not until that handle breaks. If the handle breaks, we've got problems, as we've talked about for many, many weeks now. We were hoping to avoid that, but we can't completely rule it out because of this head and shoulders pattern. We were hoping that this would turn more into a W reversal. It did not. Now, if this doesn't hold, you got a big dump. Big. If you think this was something, it was nothing. This is nothing in comparison to what could come if it breaks down. Hi, Michaela. So, but this is more of a, hey, everybody, pay attention, but don't freak out. Everybody should already know this if you're watching me. I got a lot of grief when I put these downward targets out. Oh, Tom, you're an ant. Well, that's not why I'm doing it. Or just like when I say the upward targets, oh, Tom, you're hoping. I'm like, are you kidding me? If anything, you have more of a reason to call me a negative Nancy because I look at the downward targets a lot than you would have to call me a bullish bull. You know, a bullish one. I'm more of a bear than a bull until we break out of the 78-month consolidation. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. And the problem is here is XRP pretty much opened up to the fact that because we couldn't create the expansion properly from January, we pretty much said we came up here like we said, and even if bearish, we'd come up to 75 and get rejected. Now we've created a head and shoulders. We can't control that. All we can do is control what we do going forward. This just means the pattern could have opened up until the end of the year now. If that's the case and you're saying that, the floor right now is 38 cents, 38.6, and the end of this pattern will be somewhere around 43 cents at the end of December of this year. That's what you'd be saying. If this breaks down and we have to go back into consolidation. Oh yeah, shorter time frame should absolutely have a rebound right now. We're oversold now. Very oversold.
You never figured out what the noise was?
No, it just, like I said, I thought the door might have opened and then slammed back shut. It was. Did you see it when it happened?
No, I didn't hear it right away until your alarm had turned it up.
It was loud though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like the T's dresser fall over.
Well, it sounded like somebody like ran in the door.
Or I was expecting to come home to a tree on a
Or something. It was loud. Yes, I do have Ghost. I do have Ghost. And XRP compared to all the other cryptos is undervalued in the sense that it didn't move like a lot of the rest. And that's the obvious thing that's going on here. So I don't want anybody to freak out. Nothing's changed at all. Zero. The only thing that sucks is my limit orders. That's all. But as we know, uphold with the fees and stuff. I'm not mad about that at all because now I can just transition even if I buy it at the same spot. So I don't care.
Can I communication with
Yeah. But now it's one of those things. If you're gonna have a move that we thought to the top side, now it just opens up the door to some nonsense. Here's what happens. That's all. It's not like everything is just dead. It's just we brought ourselves into a danger zone is all. Let's put it that way. We brought ourselves in, yeah, I like that. We're in a danger zone. But we're oversold in a lot of smaller time frames. Look at that. Majorly oversold. Wait a minute, what? An explosion? In Detroit, somebody said, Julie.
There's no way we would have felt that from here.
You sure about that? The way that it pushed in was weird.
Yeah, but that's still over 40 miles away.
I know that.
That's crazy. I'm just saying that's crazy if we could have felt something that far away.
Fire loud boom at DT substation rattles downtown Detroit. Interesting. I don't know if we would have felt that right here. Yeah, FYI, I would not be getting rid of XRP in this drop. Not yet. That's why I'm on. Like, don't get rid of your XRP right now. Even if you were going to, this is not the time. This is not the time. Look how oversold we are right now. This is not the time. In the smaller time frames, the only thing you're looking for is if this gives way in the cup and handle. That is it. Other than that, we're looking good. I could see that. You thought you heard it out in house. See, that's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting.
That'd be cool if you could.
I'm just saying, the way it pushed our door in, Julie, it was crazy. It was just like a big... It's exactly how you would expect something if an explosion happened, how it would hit. It was crazy. Is it true we almost have a settlement? I mean, that's the speculation. The only thing we know is 500 million XRP found their way out of the escrow today. And we don't know why. And then we had to drop to 50. Yeah, now police are going all over the place around here. What? Yeah, there's a lot of activity outside now. Wow. Oh yeah, XRP has not broken down to where you have to be. It has not broken down yet to where you should even be afraid at all. UK Phil, welcome. Yeah, I definitely know it. The way that you guys all heard it on my live. You're welcome, Art. You're welcome, my friend. I appreciate everybody being here, but it's just crazy that we heard that. And everybody, when everything else, even if everything else looks bearish, XRP's in a spot where it's completely in a spot where it's been so artificially suppressed for so long. We should have a mighty retest coming, though. Even on these back tests, we should have a mighty retest coming on a lot of this stuff. I'm telling you, there should be some kind of retest, hopefully, here. That's just crazy, though. How that sounded on my door, I've never heard that before on my door. Ever. It was as if a bomb blew up, and then all that force just pushed into my house. That was so crazy. I'm surprised. It's just crazy we're on the air when that happened. And now hearing there was an explosion, that's pretty interesting. Oh yeah, I feel good right now. I feel good. Real good. And yeah, I understand that we'll probably get a continuation of some sort. Oh, I would love it, hey now. Oh, I would love it if this was a big fake out and we made a move right back up and hit those targets. That's what we're going to find out. It hasn't been the strongest rebound back up, but it's still within the same daily candle. It's only the next 4-hour candle after the initial drop. You know, we got to start looking at short term. See, 1 hour, we're starting to weaken out a little bit. 45. Now we're looking for some buyback power right here. Here's that reversal candle. So this is what we were talking about. If we're going to reverse, now we should try to play back up towards 58 here. So even if you're going to sell everybody, don't sell until the back test fails on your assets. I cannot be more clear. When you have big drops like this, don't panic. Even if you got to get out, you're going to get a back test here at some point. You make your own personal decision, and then you just make a plan. XRP, I mean, This is the best thing that could have happened, this reversal. Because you gain liquidity. Now you clear out the short traders as well. English Sumerian gematria basis. April 13th. Interesting. Yep. Oh yeah. This is the consolidation right now. This is the consolidation right now. So don't be afraid if we come up and we don't go as high as you want and then we come back down. If we're getting a proper shakeout, we'll come down farther with some of this. I know it seems crazy, but we were up 200, 300, 400% on a lot of things, even things that we're not holding, just things that are in the market. $500 million XRP to the SEC. That's their payout. I haven't seen anything on that. I'm speculative that could be. But I haven't seen anything that says that. Oh, we'll remember all of each other. We all own XRP. Believe me. We'll all be very, very happy. 500 million. I just want to see if there's anything related to what the person said. Ripple Labs makes major moves. Second batch of 500 million XRP from escrow. Unlocks triggers. Yeah, and this is the second one. This is the second one because we just had 500 million last week, I believe. So actually, there's been 1 billion unlocked. So are all 1 billion going to go to the SEC? It's 306 million. Yeah, I don't know if this is for the SEC either. We'll find out. We'll find out. And everybody who's been watching XRPH, we talked about the retracement coming and not to buy when it's all the way up there and the opportunity that could be coming. Now, for the first time, you can start to pay attention to the opportunity that might be coming. If this breaks down this descending structure, and I know it's getting into oversold in the smaller time frames, but much like the higher crypto market, we can see how it was pretty oversold here, or overbought in the weekly and daily time frames before this sell-off. So now, one of two things is going to happen. This is either going to come back up and hold this, or you're going to get that reset we talked about back at 3.2. And then we'll see where it goes from there. So we've exhausted a lot of buy pressure, and now a lot of people are taking profits, rightfully so. I mean, it was all the way down at 1.7, and now it's up at over 9 when it started. So, but you're getting this continuation down. Now, if you look at it in the daily, you can see there's a lot of room to go. If you look at it in the smaller time frames, looks like we're pretty oversold. So what that tells me is after a back test, we'll probably continue down. And that's what you have to be afraid of in the crypto market, is after the back test, what actually happens. I'm very optimistic for gold and silver still. It's just we had to have a retrace. We had to have a cool-off. Cool-off time is when you take your money, and then you buy after the cool-off. I don't see anything that has made me feel like, oh my God, XRP's done. Nothing. Some of the other ones are concerning, and a few of them only because they've come through levels that we really don't want to come through. H-bar coming through 10 cents is that's a big level. It's a big level. And that technically a breakthrough there if you put it back farther in the pattern. This is where we were worried. This is where I had all my limit orders put in when I seen all of this transpiring, when we talked about this. Because we seen how big of a drop fits to the downside. And for H-bar, this could mean all the way down to 6 cents. Well, that's a 40% drop from that 10 cent mark. Sorry, not happening. You know, so take the 100% and you feel happy about it. There's a few of them that have done this. ZIL, same thing. ZIL had a very big opportunity to break up. When it broke down, it was the same thing. I've had all these targets. That's where all these underneath parts come from. But if we just look at it again with ZIL, this is how all of the market is. So if it breaks these structures to the downside instead of up, all that positive momentum we had, it could possibly flip. That doesn't mean after it can't rotate right back up. This is actually a little higher because it went farther out. That's 1.5 cents. I mean, these are essentially resetting to where we bought it. That's right where I bought it. I certainly don't want to ride it back down. V-chain was on the top side of this. So V-chain is still trying to stay bullish, but it's starting to put a uncomfortable pattern, but it's back testing. So we'll see. A lot of these are in different parts of the formation. Has XRP Bitcoin bottomed out? You can never say if anything's bottomed out. It's down 7.17%. After this, I got to get going, though. All the kids are home from school, and I got to go help Julie. So I do appreciate everybody who's tuned in. Please make sure to hit that like button so YouTube recommends this live. If you do appreciate my work and you want to pay it forward, consider sending one YouTube super chat per month or joining Tom's Army. Obviously, I don't expect it in the... I don't ever expect it. But other than that, like with the XRP Bitcoin pairing, we broke to the downside. So the top side target is up there. If this is a true breakdown, the bottom side target right now could be all the way down at 6. Well, I had it at 709. So did it break down? I mean, is it over? It's speculative at best that this is done. I'm not necessarily ready to say we bottomed by any long stretch of the imagination. Because if we can't get back up here and we get rejected, we could have a continuation down. We have a thinly traded weekend coming up. I'm looking at it positively. Hopefully, EU is activated on Jaya. The boom was 52 cents. It very well could have been. But I appreciate everybody tuning in. We got a lot more to cover later on. So tune back in. But for now, I got to go. This was an impromptu live to try to keep everybody on the right track and to update some of the limit orders that, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on who you are, have hit. But XRP is still in the clear. So don't worry. We have not done anything that I have seen to put us in jeopardy. And right now, this very well could be that shakeout before a big breakout. But we have to pay attention to what comes next here in the next 24 hours or so. So thank you all so much. I know it's a lot of people find it hard to go in on the moment, on the spot. It's a lot easier to come on when things are pumping because everybody's happy. But it's incredibly important and even more important when it's dropping so everybody can stay on the right track, can understand what's going on, and see the opportunity that could potentially be right in front of our very eyes.